Right, good morning everybody. Welcome to Total Fitness Thursday. And today's routine is called the squeeze. You may have done it before, in which case you'll know you don't require any kit today, just yourself, your body weight. So this is a great workout to bookmark. If you're away on holiday, you've got a routine, you've got no access to anything. This is a really good one to do. Right, let's get warmed up and I'll go through the details. Okay. Chest stretch. for 15-minute EMOMs. You're doing multiple movements in 1 minute. The rest of the minutes you rest, repeat. 15 sets. Okay, psychologically it can be quite tough. What I suggest is just think about the next minute in front of you. It's tempting. How many have you got left? Don't even think about it. The last few I'll count you down, and it'll be over before you know it. So here's the first circuit. You do these 3 things, okay, and the rest of the time is rest. Okay, that squeeze because of that. Rest gets less and less and less the longer it takes. Okay, so part 1, first circuit. So a little bit of a few choices involved here. You can do 6 donkey kicks, almost with a bronco, where you're taking both legs up much tougher, much more intense. But you're doing 6 of them. So you're going to be here, knees just off the floor, like in that bear crawl position, okay? Nice flat back, and then you can squeeze from the glute, knee comes back. Okay, 6 reps. Okay, then come up. 6 mini broad jumps, so in here like the length of your mat. Little broad jump. So a little hinge in the hips, little jump, turn, okay, just that sort of distance. Okay, 3 reps. When you've done 3 reps, you then do a walk out press up for 3 times. Okay, 1, 2, and then 3, and then you do it. Okay, and then wait for the bell. And you go again, and that's it. So 6 donkey kicks, 3 mini broad jumps, 3 handholds and press ups. If you want to do the broncos, okay, for 6 reps, that's both legs up, there. Okay, much tougher, very intense, because get hard. If you want to try those instead, then you can, okay? So 6 of them, 3 mini broad jumps, 1, turn legs, 2, we're only talking that amount of distance, and a broad jump miles, okay? Right, 15 minutes of that. Yeah, try not to think about it. Honestly, it'll be over before you know it. Okay. Right.
in what I say. I'm 45th generation Roman, but I don't know, I care when I'm speaking. So eternity is sitting, resisting, and listening, fitting. I'm after every temptation me, show your face on TV and we'll see. You can't do art, my crew laughs, and you roof up and cross the verses. You bring down curses, but I'm waving your hearses, driving by. Shooting high with the beats in the sky. Balls there, eyes glazed, guns burn down the fire road. For 40 days and you force away. Look through the flames, they see a cave, they see a black and living heat on their faces. Their figure emerges from the wastage, eyes transfixed with a piercing gaze. One hand clutching sword races to the sky. They wonder how, they wonder why. The sky turns white, it all becomes clear. They felt lifted from their fears. They shed tears, they were like up to 6 dark years. You're lost soldiers, the fire burns, cracks and smoulders. 5 years older and wiser, the fires are burning on fire, never tire. Stay warriors in the forest and on high. We sing, hear the strings rising. The war's over, the bells ring. Memories fading, soldiers slaying. Looks like Jesus raving. The hazy fog over the bullring, the lazy ways of mercy. Everybody's praying every day. Few names are born today. We look at things in a way, cause it may well be your final day. And then the crowd, the world, they all say, I was used to you knowing my pain away. Give me a tongue with a carriage feet and a beating feet. You swore on past injuries, I'm in for eternity. Get all applications into me before the deadline. Since the final night between struggle crimes and a life of crime. Your glory is today, and it's all mine. You can take it or leave it. I stay for reveal manuscripts like Jimi Hendrix. They're after us, gladiators meet their maker. Flow through the wheat fields and lakes of blue water to the next line from the fortress. Away from the knives and slaughter to their wives and daughters. Once more before the Lord judges over all of us. It's in this place that all see me. Brace yourself, cause it's gonna be. Turn the page on the day, walk away. Cause there's sense in what I say. I'm 45th generation Roman, but I don't know, I don't care when I'm spitting. So eternity is sitting, resisting and listening, fitting. And I'm miles ahead and they say to me, show your face on TV, then we'll see. You can't do art, my crew laughs, and you roof up and custom verses. You rain down curses, but I'm waving your hearses driving by. Streets riding high with the beats in the sky. Balls there, eyes glazed, garage burned down the fire rage. For 40 days and in 40 ways. But through the blaze they see a fade. They see a black of green heat on their faces. Their figure emerges from the wastage. Eyes transfixed with a piercing gaze. One hand clutching sword raised to the sky. They wonder how, they wonder why. spark is fighting me no telling when we will be next. Surrender to your rapturous. Lay your heads overflow.
Well done. Okay, psychologically it's tough, but it's no different from a 15-minute EMOM with 3 different exercises, just you're putting your lower end into one. So it illustrates how psychologically it was harder, knowing you're doing the same thing. Anyway, moving on. One more of those to do. Different exercises though. This time, 6 plyo lunges or 4 rear lunges. Okay? Straight into 6 push-ups or 4 push-ups. Straight into 6 burpees. Again, or 4 burpees, okay? You can do a 4-rep version. Oh, you can make it 5, couldn't you? It's just the lunges obviously has been a bit uneven. So, I'm going to be doing the 6s, so every minute, 6 plyo lunges. 1, push through that foot. 2, landing on my train tracks, with my toe, my knee, my hip, and my shoulder, all nicely in line. We don't want this, okay? Let's say if you'd rather just do rear lunges, that's fine. Work on that alignment. Yes, stay on those lines. And just do 4. Straight into press-ups. Okay, you can do that kneeling. Make sure you're pulling your shoulders down. Okay, do that first, even. Okay, there. And then you keep that to your lats, so just pulling everything down, your shoulder blades. In this position, not here. Okay, you should be able to see your lats engaged, bang, there. And then 6 press-ups. Okay, and then after the 6th press-up, then you can go into your 6 burpees. Okay, or 5 burpees. Okay. Once we've got this one done, we've got a little ab finisher. That's no cardio. It's all about squeezing the abs. Okay, so. Right.
Yeah, that's not even the finisher. I'll still
anywhere between 4 and 6. Burpees, anywhere between 4 and 6. Make sure you're getting at least some rest. We're doing 15 sets back to back. Right, ready?
'Cause I'm getting you, my precious son. Wanna be
said I didn't need to get lost sometimes. I took a couple wrongs trying to find back. The right ones are harder to find.
Come on! Take
Trying
it!
to fly, chasing highs and riding lows. We just rendezvous. There's something in these moments. It's nice and deep. Be the ones that make us. Oh, nice and deep. I wanna stay here by your side. It's nice and deep. Think it never break us. Nice and deep. Oh, nice and deep.
You've got some like that to do this, some grit. Right, ready? Okay. Here it is. That's mental strength, that one. Just as much as physical. That is mental strength. Well done. Right, we've got a little half finisher for you now. So we carry on with the theme of squeezing. Okay? We're going to do 2 sets of hold 10. So 10 reps for 10 seconds on each. We're going to do the following. Number 1, toe touches. You have your legs up here. Touch the floor. 3, 2, 1. 10 second squeeze. 2, 1. Squeeze 10 seconds. Release. You're not fully releasing though. I want you to try and keep your legs in the air the whole time. Okay? And the second one, you're going to do a 10 second hollow body hold. And then in. 3, 2, 1. Down. 10 seconds. Okay? If you want to, rather than come up, you can just relax. 2, 1, back in. Okay? The hard version is to contract the abs. If you come in close, you can just squeeze the knees a little bit just to get a bit of relief. Okay? The reason these are so good, well, it's isometric holds are always good. They get you very good at whatever movement it is you're practicing. However, with the abs, even more so because the main job of the abs is to restrict movements to hold, more so than any other muscle. You know, your bicep does that, your tricep does that, you know, your chest does this. Okay? Primarily it's movement. Okay? Secondary really is that hold. But for abs, it's more or less the main job of the abs is to hold, which is why isometrics and abs just go together nicely. Okay, so we just set the clock and we'll give it a go.
I'm sorry I missed the first one.
That's
Right,
toe
Sarah,
touches.
she was talking. No!
You just squeeze for 10 seconds.
Okay, sorry.
There. Release at the back. Squeeze 10 seconds. The first one isn't quite so nasty. Okay. Okay, so you ready then for some hold 10? 10 reps. 3, 2. got 3 seconds there though. So it isn't long. Right, you ready? 10 reps. This is it. This is where we leave it, okay? Right, here we go. Ready? 3.
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it just didn't matter. I had to fall to lose it all. In the end, it just didn't matter. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Start with
Come on, hold it. Last 3. Last 2. Well done, everyone. We've got total mobility coming straight up now. Absolute welcome relief on that. So a nice deep stretch for half an hour. Thanks to Debbie, unusual on that one. No kit required. If Debbie is somewhere without anything, remember the squeeze. Log on to YouTube. Perfect. Nothing, no kit required. Right, we're back there in 2 minutes with total mobility. If not, we're back tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for